you built your whole empire off of social media. That's how you broke into your real estate and how you were able to get into it. What are you seeing kind of now? If you were an accidental agent, now you're going to be really committed. You're moving into this new year, this market that you've never experienced. And social media is going to be one of your key levers to grow your business. What should people be thinking about? What should they be doing, the do's and don'ts, and really as we head into this new year?
I can only tell you what I did and what I would do. You have to learn to be really good with people, and you'll be surprised to find out that I'm technically an introvert. I like to call myself a paid extrovert. I can do it for money. I can turn it on and I'll be your best friend for 90 days for a commission, right? Okay, so I want to take you guys back to the basic. The greatness tracker is what I did for literally forever. It takes 90 days to create a new habit. So what I want you to do, the greatness tracker is actually on my Instagram. So if you go to my Instagram, Gogo's Real Estate, go to the link. That's going to take you to my website, which is gogobethke.com. On there, you're going to find another button that's called links. In the links, search for the greatness tracker. You'll find it. And then I want you to take this with you everywhere you go for the first 90 days and then eventually forever. But what's going to happen with the forever, that you're going to create new habits and you're not going to need the sheet to get the same thing done. So the greatness tracker will allow you to form new skills and remind you to do things. So the number one is face-to-faces. You go to the face-to-face Monday and you're going to put 3 days down, 3 names down every single day. The next one is break bread. Break bread is an intentional somewhere where you're going to eat with a person and spend more time than just a quick 5 to 10 minute coffee. Okay, so that's break bread. You need to do 1 a day for those. If you do these, you're going to have 5 by the end of the week, right? Because we're not working Saturdays and Sundays. Even though this one shows weekend information.
Your face-to-face and break bread could be the same thing?
Yes and no, not necessarily, because a face-to-face could be like, I ended up staying 5 minutes after my yoga class and talked to you about whatever, right? And real estate came up. That's a face-to-face.
Got it.
Whenever you're physically face-to-face with another person and somehow real estate came up, or you just had a good, meaningful relationship where you know that they know what you do for a living, that's a face-to-face. When you're intentional about sitting down with and eating with someone, that's break bread. Then you have great. So these are phone calls, right? So these are great phone calls. You have to have 1, 2, 3, 4 per day. A great phone call could be somebody that, let's say you're calling your aunt because she's in the hospital and you were just wanting to check in with her and how she's doing. And then she says, you know what, I'm doing good, but my brother decided to move out of state and, he's wanting to sell his house. Do you think you could talk to him? That's a great phone call, right? But it might not turn into a lead. But if you just had a meaningful conversation with somebody, that's a great phone call. The next one is leads. So however many leads you have, following up with them. This one just has 1 section a day, right? But you're going to have way more than that. The next one is the referral partners. So the referral partners phone calls, in a very nice and subtle way, reminding them, then I will continue to send you business as long as you send me business too. Because if I'm feeding your family, I'm expecting you to feed mine. It's pretty much.
And I think too, Gogo, to your point, a lot of people don't understand the cost that it takes to acquire, the time and the cost to acquire a client. And here you are spending, thousands of dollars in time and energy to acquire a client. And then you're just handing it off to somebody that gets a bite of the apple, that gets paid for not acquiring anything into the relationship. And that's, a lot of people don't understand that relationship. And once you get that, then you're like, hell no, I ain't doing that. That makes 0 sense. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to invest in me, invest in my business if you want, because I'm acquiring these clients. And if you want to be able to have that opportunity, you're going to have to invest in it somehow.
Past clients, you should have a good list of past clients, right? Call them, thank them. When we call our past clients, we call them with the idea of the preferred vendors list. So when we realize that we need to support our friends and their businesses just as much as we're expecting them to support ours, we created what's called our preferred vendors list. And I think Lindsay added the blank version in there for you guys. First of all, call all of your friends, make Facebook posts weekly, ask who do you know who's an electrician, just do your research. What do your friends do? And then add them to your preferred vendors list. So when we call our past clients, we call them usually on their anniversaries, because you should have that as a reminder in your CRM program. Every time we close a file, we put a reminder of their anniversary date and set a reoccurring event, right? So that way we get reminded if we closed on June 11th, then every year, June 11th, I'm calling them to, hey, it's been 3 years. Congratulations. By the way, if you need anything, here's our preferred vendors list. If you need a painter, a plumber, an electrician, these are the guys that we've been working with all these years. They also, some of us are our friends, and they do give a discounted price for all of our Gogo's Real Estate team. clients. So if you need anything, here's the preferred vendors list. I am not calling them to ask for anything. I am reminded them of their anniversary. Most of the time, they don't even remember that, right? I usually ask them, how's the house treating you? And then I send them the preferred vendors list via text after we hang up. Then you have the current client. So everybody who's pending, or everybody who told you that they want to work with you and they signed a buyer's agency, right? So they are your current clients. You haven't sold them anything yet. You're in the process of that. They go in here. It's a daily touch-up. The next one is social media posts. So the first, you should do 2 a day, right? So I would do one or right after coffee or right after lunch of what I learned today, right? And the second one would usually be after the event. So you see the next line is events. You need to do 1 event a day. Now your afternoon post could be the event from the night before, right? That you take a selfie with those people or a picture with those people where you talk about that, or anything, but you have to post twice a day. Once in the morning, once in the afternoon. That day events, we talked about that, hours prospected. So after you do all this, you're going to put down, it took me 4 hours today, 5 hours tomorrow, whatever those hours are, right? End of the week, you should have at least 21 hours of hours prospected. Thank you cards. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not that organized, but you should. Just let me ask you this question. Do you love when you receive something in the mail that is specifically to you and it's somebody's handwriting? This is the thank you card of like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for sending flowers for my grandma's funeral. I truly appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like, these are the type of like thank yous, like truly a thank you, no business card. This is not a business pitch. It's a true thank you card. You should order a bunch of them on Etsy. And that's what I did. I ordered a bunch of them that were GRET, which is Gogo's Real Estate Team, right? A thank you in the front and said Gogo's Real Estate Team. So it's branded, so it's an expense. And then when you have a minute in between to your appointment or somebody's late to your appointment, have like 5 to 10 of them in your purse, right? And then just write these cards very quick, throw them back in your purse. Next time you have a chance, you know, put in your mailbox, send it off. And then if you do all this, you should have 10 leads, right? Now, with those 10 leads, your closing rate, what do you think is the national average closing rate, John? So I calculated this at 3. Let's say they have 30% closing rate, right? But you could change that and you will see your closing rate as the more you're doing this. And this is in a week, guys.
Yes.
So if you can get 3, and average commission is 10 grand, we are talking $30,000 a week.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That is somewhere between $90,000 to $120,000 a month, which is way over $1 million a year, and you haven't spent a penny but your time. The more you're going to be able to automate this, meaning some of these steps can be taken off of your plate. Like your VA can spend Sundays to reach out to your database or your people to invite them out for lunch with you. You don't have to spend the scheduling time eventually on a Sunday morning, your own time, right?